Welcome to the Making Games podcast, where Novoa and Johan Nohr talk about games.
Hey, and welcome to the second episode of Making Games podcast. This is going to be a very fun episode. I'm Novoa from Games Omnivorous, and here with me is...
I'm Johan Nohr from Stockholm Cartel.
And today, this is going to be all about the wonderful world of logistics.
Yay! It's very fun that for the second episode of our new podcast, we decided to do the most boring topic imaginable. But
as one should.
But also, I feel like this, because I thought about this, when you enter this world and you do game design full time, you just quickly realize that what you're really doing is you become a logistics manager who dabbles in game design on the side.
This is exactly 100% accurate. I would die on that hill. I've been a manager, an accountant too, and I guess you're an accountant too, of course. I do sometimes game design, but it's all about...
I think a lot of people can agree with that. Like you realize very shortly after you start doing this full time that you're not really doing game design or illustration or writing or anything. Yes. You do that like evenings and weekends, like you did when you had a full time job, because now you're doing logistics and project management. So
that's accurate. So game design is kind of my hobby now, and my work is something else. It's putting things in the mail and passing invoices.
And so this episode, I think we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about setting up. Let's imagine you have made your game, you have written your book, you've made whatever game you have. Now you're going to turn it into a real thing, and that how do you do that? Who do you contact, and how do you handle shipping to print and getting the boxes to your storage unit, setting up a web shop or whatever. I think the only reason you can skip this, because I know a lot of people don't, they go via a third party, like a distribution partner or a publisher, maybe print on demand or all digital, then you don't have to do this. But if you hate yourself enough to start to, sell these things yourself, you have to become very good friends with, Microsoft Excel and Google Sheets.
That's exactly true. So let's. I think we had the idea that we were also going to do an episode on kind of how to set up your business, how to set up your company, whatever, your game design studio. But let's skip that part, and let's say you do have something going, whether it's like a Kickstarter or a company or whatever. How do you begin thinking about fulfilling things and sending things out in the mail? Let's start with, I don't know, what are your deepest secrets in logistics, Johan? Where do you get your boxes from?
Oh, my boxes. So, no, but this is actually fun because I have learned, we have a company. I live in a small city near Stockholm, and apparently one of the biggest makers and retailers of boxes and packing material is in my city. So there is a big store that is basically just selling packing material.
Oh, wow.
And when I order from them, that's crazy, and that's how I learned that they're in my city, because when I order from them in the morning, after lunch, I have it in my home because they drive up to me. But they also send out a little catalog every now and again that I happily read now. I sit there and I flip through this catalog of boxes, and I'm like, oh, this is fun. This little, you can make custom packing tape with your logo on it.
I absolutely knew that this episode was going to turn into like a box porn sort of...
But it's
like a box porn segment or whatever. But that's very convenient.
Because I am stupid enough to have a web shop with very different size things. I know we talked about this earlier at some point, but if you have a web shop, if you sell your stuff and it's only scenes and books, you're smart. That's the way to go. But I've decided to also sell boxes of cards and dice and rolls with art prints and t-shirts, and then you have to have a wide range of different sized boxes.
Yeah, I do have the books as well and the zines, but I do have Mouse Ritter box sets, or now Flail also box set, and the hexes, which is different sizes. So I know very well this problem, which is sourcing different boxes, and I have to source them from different places here, which is even more complicated. But I just found out a really cool company that kind of saved me in the books department because I was paying too much for boxes. I was paying like almost 80 cents for one box, which is very high. So I found now a supplier in Germany. So I actually
you import them?
import boxes for I import boxes from Germany. It's crazy, but it's like the most cost effective or the most cost efficient.
So the thing is, the boxes that I have. Okay, this episode is not going to be about logistics. It's going to be just about boxes.
Yes.
The boxes that I have all have that like this self-adhesive thing. So you just remove a strip and then you fold it, and then that attaches and tapes. So I don't have to use tape. But I sometimes do it anyway because I don't trust it really. And when I do this, because I also sell skateboards because I'm a total idiot, and then I have to make a box big enough for that. So I have to take two boxes and combine them into one box, and then there's a lot of tape going on. But I do my custom tape with my Pit Trap Shock logo on it, and it's financially idiotic to do that because it costs so much. But I also have like custom print on the actual book packaging. So and that cost me like €1 or even more €1 per box. So, but it's fun. I don't know, like. You charge more per book than what you spend making it, so you have some profits that you can eat from. And if it's not financially like sound or clever in any way, but it's fun.
So let's say you have your game, you did your game, it arrived into your warehouse. When we can talk about the warehouses too, and you have your boxes.
Before that, I want to say, like, because when you send it to print and you've gone through all that stuff, that's also another episode really when we talk about sending to print. But I think there's a magical moment there as well. That day when a truck pulls up to you, you get like a big truck, beeping in, and they unload a pallet or something. And you realize like, 1,000 books is this much, or how many you print. In my case, because I get it to my home, I have to carry it into the garage out from the, outside, and then I have to take it into my little car, do many, many trips back and forward to my storage unit.
Oh, so that's your setup.
Yeah, I'm actually looking for a new place to because I've outgrown my storage unit, and I also need one place where where the trucks can go, because now there's like a gate you have to go in through, and I don't spend all my day there, so I can't receive things every day. So right now I carry every single box like several times back and forward.
But that's a lot. That's a lot of boxes.
That is a lot. Yeah.
This is one thing that I didn't realize when I started the company, but I actually own a small garage. And the garage is actually on the street level, and the access is directly to the street. So I did not consider this when I started the company, but this is like a miracle come true, I guess.
Yes.
Now that I realized when I started the company, I was just getting a few books or whatever. But then 1 year into it, I received like 2 or 3 monstrous pallets of mouse reader, and then I realized, oh shit, this is actually really good that I have this small garage that the truck just pulls in. They just use the elevator, and they put it inside. They put the pallets inside my garage, and I close the door, and that's it. So this is like
they drive into you, lucky bastard.
Yes,
okay.
It's like I don't have to do anything. They just, but this is like an ideal situation, and I know that I'm very fortunate and privileged to have this. But so.
But I think a lot of game designers out there and publishers actually use their garage. Like they have a garage just full of books. You just have to remember to not store the boxes on the ground. You just use the pallet, like remove it up from the ground. So you get the stuff, you unload it in whatever setup you have, and then you have a storage unit or a garage full of boxes, and then you have to send that out to a bunch of people out around the world. How do you do that?
It's a good question. So it depends whether you're doing a Kickstarter when you have to fulfill, I guess, like 500 boxes or books in 1 week or 2 weeks or whatever. That's a bit different from having a store where you actually have a few. I don't know how many orders you have per week, but I have 30, 20, 40. It depends on the week.
Around there.
Yeah. And those are two very different setups, I think. But let's say about you have a store, a web store, and you're selling stuff to people. I think that the thing that you have to do immediately is get a contract with service, a courier, right? And I would like to know which ones you use, because I've been having a problem with mine, and I might change.
So I used two. I used my local Swedish post for most of, for Sweden, of course, but also for the most of the EU. And then, and I hope you're not going to diss them too much, because on your recommendation, I'm using FedEx.
I just had the worst experience with FedEx. Like, we can talk about this.
No, we can talk about them. And I agree. They are far from perfect, and I've had a lot of problems with them. But the thing is, because when I sold to the US, when there was a lot of trouble with the tariffs and stuff, like the Swedish Post wouldn't, and it was the same for the Portugal Post, I guess.
Exactly.
Like they wouldn't send there. So I had to get a replacement. And when they started sending there, packages would just bounce back to me. I had to pay customs fees, and they would return to me, and so I was just losing money. So I had to find a carrier who felt like they knew how to send to the US, and that was FedEx. And I don't know, like their app for Shopify, which is the system I use, is much better than whatever PostNord has.
Absolutely, so, the plugin, the integration is perfect. Like it's super smooth. So that's why I also use them. I use Portuguese Mail as well, which is called CTT. They have a really good price, and this is like a policy in the Portuguese government. They have a really good price for books specifically. So books, like when you ship out a book, and this is like a policy for getting people to read or whatever, but I take advantage of it, obviously. So the prices for shipping books are kind of like half of everything else. And this includes international expeditions. So I use this quite a lot. But the problem is I cannot legally use this if I'm exporting to outside the European Union, because the Portuguese Mail does not provide the correct paperwork for customs declaration or whatever. I'm not going to delve too much into the topic, but like the thing is, it's the Portuguese state says that it's compulsory to have this paper if you have an audit, but the Portuguese mail company does not give this paper by default. So like, what the fuck?
So you have to do it manually yourself? Or
what you have to register as like an exporter, importer, and you have to have a person. Like, it's not something you can do by yourself.
See, that's what, like, you became a game designer. You're not going to delve into become an importer and exporter. Like, you quickly realize that you're like Googling all these different names and rules and whatever.
So I use that for some of the orders I have, but I use also FedEx because of the integration. Like kudos to FedEx in terms of the integration. The integration is really good.
Yeah.
What's bad about FedEx is the prices are really high.
Yes.
So
I want to mention something about that, because when the salesperson from FedEx talked to me, they gave me a price list which looked very, very good, because I compared a lot of different carriers and I compared with what I currently have with the Swedish Post, and the prices were great. So I made a big thing about this. Like I talked in my Discord, and I make like in my little scene that I just send out with every order, I talked about like, oh, I'm gonna use FedEx now. The price is gonna be so much better, because I've compared it all. And then once I started, I didn't realize this. Once I started sending, they add an additional fee for like
the gas, and it's like 30%.
Yes,
and it's like 30.
Yeah, so it becomes much more expensive now, and it's like it's not a set price. It's like a flexible price, so that you don't know what it is until it hits you, or it hits rather the customer. So you should be upfront with this and tell me the actual price, but. It's also like, I don't know, I can't really do anything about it. Like, I've tried talking to FedEx and tried to make them lower their prices, but I mean, who am I? Like, what can I do?
So how do you actually, some people, if it's FedEx, they come to collect my boxes. If it's not FedEx, Do you have to carry them over?
I have to drive it to
where-
the post office. Yeah. I put them all in these big. I've bought like plastic trays or like big boxes that I put all my boxes in, and then I drive into town, slightly outside of town, and then I go to this big the headquarters basically, where all their trucks is, and then I give it to them, and I do that.
And you have a contract?
once a week.
Do you have a contract with Swedish?
I don't,
mail?
but I should have. They keep telling me that I should have. Right now, I'm doing it all manually because I think if you have a contract, you also get this thing where you don't see, because you want to charge a sum for shipping, but you don't see how much it will actually cost in the end. You just get an invoice for whatever you sent, but you don't know what each individual item exactly will cost until you send it. But that's on my to-do list to get a proper account and everything. But,
I do have a contract, and they have good prices for me because of the volume with the Portuguese mail. But I also have to drive to this place. But I drive to the logistics distribution center, which I'm not allowed to do. But because I once convinced the person that is in charge of this unit to actually open the door for me, and I give her a bottle of champagne each Christmas. I'm now allowed to do this. So
no. You can cut this if you want, but you are actually bribing her.
Yes. I'm not going to cut this. I'm 100% bribing.
That's a good tip then. I mean, yeah. Bribes will, bribe is a society's lubricant. That's how it works.
Absolutely true.
Okay.
So what I do is I'm not supposed to go there because this is not open to the public. But
you're
because
not the public, you're a company. Like you're a contracted company with them.
but this is just like the logistics center. So what I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to, like you, drive to a post office and deposit my boxes there, and they then take those boxes to the distribution center. You know what I mean?
You go straight to the
I go straight
distribution center.
Because I don't want to be waiting in a queue for half an hour.
No, okay, I get it. But the thing is, I think this is more of a logistics center kind of. This is where all the trucks are, because we have these smaller post offices where people go when they send like 1 or 2 boxes. But this is like for companies. So, and I don't even have to talk to a person. There's just like a chute where I just throw them in, basically, and it ends up somewhere in their system. So
no, this is not the same. It's not the same.
No.
It's not the same for me. So I'm not supposed to go there, but I go there, and I actually remember when this started like 5 years ago or whatever, when my kid Alice was 2 years old, and I would take her, and she would carry the boxes for me. And, like everybody thought it was really funny. She was really into carrying like some boxes into it. They found it like super cute, and so I kind of like charmed the people. With my kid. I don't know.
Thinking like an OSR player, you try to solve problems by getting into places you're not supposed to be in. I also use my kids a lot. Like they help me pack and they help me carry boxes. They find it funny.
She's not into it anymore, which is like a shame. But
Damn.
Yeah. Anyway.
But I think also like a good tip for all the listeners. I mean, buy a label printer. You have to have that. That will save your life. It will save you so much time and headache to get a proper label printer instead of just printing it out on your.
You have a thermal printer.
And taping it. Yes. One of those zebra things.
Yeah, me too. I have a zebra too. Yeah.
Zebra. Yeah. 420. Said Deet 421.
Yes.
No, it's good. They just shoot
the same. I have the same. I have exactly the same.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I have this one, but this does not. It only started to integrate with Portuguese mail this year. So I was only using this with FedEx. Now I use with both FedEx and the Portuguese mail, and this not only saves you tons of time, it saved so much ink.
Yes. It doesn't even. I'm not sure how it works because it doesn't use ink.
No, it's like it's a thermal, right? So it's just like it's heat on top of it's like burns the paper or whatever. I don't know.
That's very good.
So absolutely, but we're not Zebra sponsored or anything.
No, but if they want to sponsor me, I would gladly take that.
Yes,
send me those labels, label boxes, please. When you listen to this, Zebra. But okay, so you print them out, you smack the labels on there. And then you go to the post office or whatever, or FedEx picks it up. Your carrier of choice takes over, and then
that's when praying starts,
Yes,
I guess.
that's when you become religious.
All right, two more topics I would like to discuss with you before the end of the episode. One of them is, how do you take things to conventions? Which I think is also a big logistic question, because I kind of want to start doing conventions. I'm not, Games Omnivorous and myself, I haven't been doing that many conventions because also I'm stuck in a remotest part of Europe, I guess, where nothing happens. But anyway, let's not get into that. But how do you actually, you go to Lucca in Italy, for instance.
So Lucca was special. I would say, let's take another example. Let's take the UK Games Expo. That's recent, and that's one of the biggest ones that we go to outside of Sweden. Because in Sweden, it's no problem. Wherever we can drive, it's no problem. And I'm always so envious about Americans who go to American conventions. I know the distances are not like comparable here, because the distances are crazy. But you can at least take your stuff from your local storage and you can drive, even though it takes days. But I have to get a local warehouse in the UK. Right now I'm working with Peregrine Coast Press, and it worked out very well, perfectly. I send them stuff, a pallet of my books, and they will bring it to the convention. And then when I get there, I can we'll sort it out. I bring it to my booth and I take it back what I don't sell.
100% going to start.
You should do that, because before we had a warehouse there, I would bring stuff on the plane. I would take, I would add checked in baggage, and I would take 2 32 kilos bags with me, and bring it to the plane, through the, all the way to the convention. And then I'd sold it all the first day, which is good, but it's also annoying because I knew that, okay, if I could bring more, then I would sell more. And so now that I have a physical storage in the UK, it's much more I can grow now, and it's much less hassle. I don't have to carry all this luggage.
Nice. So I'm definitely going to take your lead, and I'm going to nag you next time to do UK Games Expo 2 or whatever, because I really want to start doing more conventions, but the logistics behind them is just so tiresome and tiring and also, boring and whatever, that I don't.
I think that you learn soon when doing conventions is that you have to have not only stock but also booth material, roll-ups and banners and scene stands, all that stuff, which is really fun. But you have to store that stuff as well and bring it back and home from the convention.
So you're carrying them on the plane? You're carrying those on the plane?
I did, but now I have it together with the books in one bag. Because I also now that I have a storage there, I can I ordered a big ass skeleton, an anatomical model of a skeleton. Of course, I have one in Sweden, one in the UK, and one in the US now. So my company has an increasing amount of skeletons, which fits me. And then, all these little shelves and these little scene stands and all that stuff goes there.
Gotcha. But okay, that's very good. Thank you for that, Johan. I actually
no.
I'm going to definitely be using your wisdom here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
The second thing that I wanted to talk about, and I think we're getting to the end of the episode here, is, do you want to share some horror stories? Someone was talking, I just, as people might know, I just released Flail. At least the backer kit campaign went live, and people started doing these jokes about hacking Flail for other systems. And there was an Arthurian game that was called Grail, and and some weird sci-fi cool. That's called Snail or whatever. And I'm
yeah.
Well, you know what? My dear people that happen to be hanging on my on the Discord server, I am playing RPG horror game that it's called Mail over the past 5 years.
Yes, that's very much it.
So let's dive into Mail, the horror RPG. Give me some of your best horror stories.
Oh, you start. You have horror stories, I'm sure.
I have two or three that are on my Hall of Fame.
Okay.
The first one is what I call the forklifts mouse ritter event. So.
Can't wait.
So,
Okay.
so so this was years ago when we did the Kickstarter for Mouse Ritter for the second edition, or the second print run of Mouse Ritter and the Estate box set collection, the Adventure collection. They were all made in Portugal. I pretty much make everything in Portugal, and we can talk about production some other time.
Yeah.
But the pallets arrived in my garage, in my warehouse. And there were a bunch of them. I don't know, maybe 8 of them or whatever. There were too many pallets, and then I had to send them out to the U.S. for fulfillment. And I remember what happened is they arrived there. It was all good, and then during the drive between Dulles in Washington and the warehouse, Flying Cloud, the driver actually flipped one of the pallets over. I don't know why, so it got flipped. And then not only that, when they arrived, the forklift they basically impaled the forklift impaled the pallet.
They like stabbed it with
They stabbed it right in the middle. Right in the middle. And they actually sent me a photo of it. It was like this is stuff that I don't want to see this. This is gore for me. I don't
So how many boxes were destroyed in the stabbing event? I understand that a lot of them were destroyed flipping, but like how many were actually perforated, would like become shish kebab?
They came back to me and they said, "Oh, it's only 50 boxes." And I was like, "Okay." Wow. 50 boxes,
okay.
It's
That's
like
quite a lot still.
It's quite a lot, but it's not end of business sort of deal. But for a moment there, I thought that I was going to go bankrupt, and this was the end. But they actually paid me back something, even though I wasn't insured. There's some compensation that you're entitled to. So in the end, I lost like 2K. Which is, is a lot, but it's not.
But it's also like in the bigger picture, like it's manageable. I assume
it's manageable
when you're talking about a whole like Kickstarter fulfillment. But still, it still sucks. Like
this was one of the most horrific stories I had, and I just had a recent one with FedEx that I mentioned early at the start of the episode, and this was with Prismatic Wasteland. So Warren, the blogger, we did. 1 year or so back, we did Prismatic Wisdom.
Great book.
Yeah, it's like a compilation of his blog posts. And there were, I think, 200 books left, and he wanted to get them to the US for his own store. And I was like, sure, let's do that, absolutely. So I sent 200 books. This was just like last month or 2 months ago. So I sent 5 boxes containing Prismatic Wisdom books. And then Warren contacted me and he said, I just received 2 boxes. And I was like, uh-oh, what the fuck? What's going on here? And nothing happened. So I sent a complaint to FedEx. And then what actually happened was 2 days after that, he received another box at his home with my label clearly cut from a different boxes and glued onto another box. And then he opened this box and there was a pillow inside.
What kind of pillow?
I have no idea what kind of. It was a pillow. So there were no books. There was a pillow. So I sent 5 boxes of books. The 2 of them were delivered. A third one was delivered, but somehow transformed, shapeshift into a pillow, and the other 2 are completely
just
gone, disappeared into the void.
Yeah.
And FedEx, until this day, we've been talking for a month or so about this. They absolutely state that delivery was fulfilled. There's nothing wrong with delivery. It's all good. We cannot do
Wow.
anything for you. So I just lost another like 2K on this. So
Hey, free pillow, nice. It's kind of similar. That's fun. It reminds me of when I was ordering Slav Borg, which is from a Polish company, Slavdom Studios. It's like a MÖRK BORG hack where you play as like goblins doing street racing in like a fictional sort of post-Soviet state, and there's a lot of like street racing, as I mentioned. And when they sent that box of that to our American warehouse at the time, which was, I wonder if it was it was World of Game Design before they imploded and fucked us over. When we received that box, there were no books in the box. It was just motorcycle tires. Instead.
That's very thematic.
Which is, it's very thematic, and the guys in Slavdom Studios didn't understand how this could have happened. Like, I was almost not even mad at it because how like thematically correct it was, but still I really wanted those books, that I had ordered. But we didn't get any. It wasn't insured or anything. I think we didn't get any replacements. I just had to buy it all again. But I kind of now wish that we had kept those tires and like sold them as like a special edition or something. Because that's what you should do, I think. Like I remember another episode way back when we did the MÖRK BORG GM screen. I know that one shipment of it, or like a part of the whole production, was just water damage. Like it was stood in an area of a warehouse where it's like rained in on it, and I got a picture of these boxes. I can't remember how many it was, but maybe like 10 or 20 boxes or something, just soaked, like completely drenched in water. And this was together with Free League, who helped us publish it, and they managed to get it all like reprinted or whatever. But I also wanted to keep those boxes. I wanted to keep those screens and like make a special, swamp edition or something that's just water damaged. But
one thing that we might consider doing is an online gallery of shipping horrors or whatever. Like,
yes.
I do have so many in my email, and even from customers that say, "Oh, look how I received."
And it's just like torn
your
apart.
order.
Yeah. That actually like taught me how to package my stuff. Like, not just throw in the book and without bubble wrap or anything, especially if it's going to like Australia or if it's going to the States or whatever. Like the further you have to send it, the better you have to pack it, and the heavier the thing is. So like my art book, or if I send the big, it's like it's not heavy, but if you send like a big skateboard, you have to really like wrap it up. But also like how packages can just disappear. Like I ordered a bunch of stuff, a bunch of scenes from Chris Bissett again for Pit Trap Shop, like a bunch of his scenes and adventures, and it just got stuck in the UK customs, and that was maybe 6 months ago, and it's just gone. Like it's just a full shipment of maybe 12 different scenes, maybe 10 or 20 of each, and it's just gone. It just vanished into a black hole. And
I kind of feel like that sometimes we're playing a game where it's like, it doesn't really matter if you're paying to this company or to the other or insurance or not. Things disappear and they just say everything's fine. So I kind of like...
Yeah.
At this point, I think they should just label the thing as, put it in the mail and just hope that everything will go well. We're like, see what happens. We have no responsibility whatsoever after. So it's like...
No, I'm actually amazed like how you can run a company like that. Like apparently, sometimes you charge the money, you just don't do the job. Like,
don't do the job. Yeah, fuck it.
But so that's when you send stuff, that's something you maybe should be prepared for. Like it can happen. Have some extras, have some spare ones to send out. Because that's what I try to do at least. Like if a package I'm sending through the web shop, if that disappears or whatever, I always try to send the replacement, even though it will cost me money, but I'd rather it cost me money than the customer who bought it. So it's my preferred way, at least.
All right, and this was the wonderful world of logistics. I hope you liked what we had to say. Maybe I learned stuff. It was very cool, Johan, especially the conventions bit. I hope you, the listener, also got some idea of the struggle we're in. So,
It's just us moaning.
yeah, this is like an episode where we kind of ask for patience, I don't know, or ask for
sympathy.
sympathy. Yeah,
Poor us.
for us. So thank you for that. So me and Johan, we were talking about how to end these episodes from now on, and we kind of decided that we wanted to end them on a segment that we call the inspirational segment. Is that what we're going to call it? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not
what,
sure
what
if
do you want
it's
to call this?
inspirational per se. Like, it's just like stuff we recommend that we have read or seen or listened to, or yeah, like something, like a love bombing thing where we take something that we've encountered and that we like.
Mostly it's going to be media that we have come across. It can be movies or books or TV shows or movies that we came across in the last month. So what's your recommendation for this episode?
So I have recently read a book. It's a graphic novel by a Swedish comic artist called Erik Svetoft, and it's called Spa. I'm holding it up now for the camera that we don't show, but this is it's like a surreal horror story that takes place in this luxurious like spa conference center somewhere. It's not mentioned that it's in Sweden, but it's like alleged that it is, and it's very like Kafkaesque and like Lynchian in a way. Very
Nice.
like a lot of weird stuff happening in this luxurious place. There's a lot of contrast between the niceness and the strictness of the place, and then all the gunk and the bodily fluids and the horror that's happening. But the weird thing is also no one seems to really mind. No one seems to care. They just go about their day and they take these weird things as like, oh, that's minor inconvenience. Like, I don't care. So it creates this sort of dreamlike feeling, and it's just, I don't know. It's a very surreal and uneasy sort of read, and I recommend it. I think it's great. So it could be cool to make an adventure out of that as well. But yeah, how about you?
All right, my recommendation is, I thought that one of my favorite movies that I've used extensively in my game design is called The Cube.
Yeah.
By so the 90s, from the 90s, right? This like
Canadian, right? No?
I think it's Vincenzo Di Natale. I saw it. I think he's I don't know where this person
No, okay.
is from, but I think it's Vincenzo Natali or Di Natale, and it's one of my favorite movies because I always thought of the Cube as like the ultimate dungeon design. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
kind of where I'm at. So it's like puzzles and traps and NPCs and people who disappear and then they come back later on. And it's a great dungeon design movie, in my opinion. And I thought that it was going to remain unbeatable forever. And then last month I saw The Back Rooms. I don't know if you.
Oh,
if you
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it. But no spoilers. But
No spoilers. I saw The Back Rooms, which is done by a kid. Actually, I think he's like 21 or
20
22
something, which
yeah.
is awesome.
It's great. So it started like as a YouTube thing where he would drop these 2 or 3 minute episodes and they got millions of views. So it explores this idea of liminal horror or horror in liminal spaces. So it's like offices, a complex of offices that is very weird, and then it's like found footage, and it kind of screams to me also Blair Witch Project in a way. Somehow I think that's kind of the vibe as well. Blair Witch Project being also one of my favorite horror movies, if not my favorite horror movie. But they released now. So he started as a kid doing this with, I think he was 16, 17, and then A24, the studio, hired him to actually do a movie out of this universe. he built, and it's like the perfect dungeon design.
Yeah.
It's like just so weird corridors and doors and stuff and ramps going up and down, and it's like, and then things popping in and out. So yeah, absolutely crazy dungeon design that I strongly recommend.
No, it's really
Yeah.
cool because it's also like you can easily see how that could translate into a dungeon game
Yeah.
where you do like these random encounters. And I mean, there are several liminal space sort of horror games.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
many of them called liminal, like more than one is called liminal.
Yeah, there's liminal horror, obviously, which is
yeah,
a really
yeah.
really cool game. But yeah,
But
so
there's anyway,
where-
but I agree. I think that's a really good inspiration to make something from. You can even combine these two because, like, one part of the liminal space, the back rooms, could be like a giant spa. Suddenly,
with
There
people
are
in
like-
robes.
Yeah, because there's like the pool rooms. I think is a part of the back rooms.
Yes, it is. Yeah,
which
yeah,
is makes sense.
All right, there you go.
Okay, so I think that will be the end of the episode. I had a really good time, and as you mentioned, I think this was educational for both of us, and I got even more of a reason to go check out Backrooms. I think we initially talked about this being about production and logistics. We focused entirely on logistics, and a lot of it just boxes. But the thing, so maybe next time we can touch on the more the production side of things, like before you actually send it off to print and enter this world of boxes and labels. So yeah, I mean, thank you if you listened to this. I hope you had a good time, and I hope you stick around for the next episode. We'll try to keep things fun,
Civil.
And, we'll try to keep things civil. I was about to say, well, just about to think that what can I promise, but there's no promises. We'll see what happens.
All right, thank you. See you next time.
Yeah, bye.